Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we are going to learn a few more methods to create a particular NumPy array. So in this lecture we are actually going to learn about the arrange method to create a NumPy array. So let's first go ahead and import a NumPy as NP. So that's going to be import NumPy as NP. And once you import NumPy, let's go ahead and create an array which is going to be named as A. So we type A equals and then type np, and now you use a range method to basically pass in a particular range, and that's actually going to create an array with that particular range. So if you type a range over here and pass in the range as, let's say, 24. So let's say you want to have 24 elements in your array from 1 to 24. So you simply pass in the range, and then you could simply go ahead and print the array over here. So once you run this code, as you could see, you have the range of elements from 0 to 23. So that's essentially 24 elements in your particular array. So now let's go ahead and learn how you could go ahead and convert this single dimensional array into a multi-dimensional array. So you could actually have a lot of combinations in this particular array. So let's say you want to have a 2 by 3 by 4 array. So what you could simply do is that you could create a new array. So you could type b equals a. So you essentially want to derive a new array from the existing one, which is a. So you simply type in a dot reshape, and after this you could pass in the dimensions as 2, 3, 4, or let's say 2, 4, 3. And then you could simply print in the array b. So if you print this out, as you could see, now you have a new array which is a 2, 4, 3 array. So this actually has 24 elements, as you could see. So you could have these elements. So as you could see, this 2 actually means you have created these two main arrays, and then you actually have the elements wherein in this particular matrix you actually have 4 rows and 3 columns, and 4 rows and 3 columns in this particular matrix. So essentially if you multiply 2 by 4, that's actually going to be 8, and 8 multiplied by 3 is equal to 24. And hence when you reshape this in this particular format, you will be able to cover all the elements from 0 to 23, which are 24 elements. Now let's go ahead and learn how we could go ahead and create a null array, or an array with, let's say, basically 5 zeros. So that's actually quite simple. Let's create an array. Let's type its name as x. So you could type x equals np dot, and you could use a method which is called as zeros. And in here you could specify the range of numbers or the number of zeros which you want. So let's say if you want 5 zeros, you could then simply print out the array to check if this thing actually works. So once you do that, and once you run this code, as you could see, now you have zeros over here. But if you will notice over here, these actually are the floating point values or decimal values over here. And let's say instead of these decimal values, you want integer values. So in that case, what you could do is that you could specify an additional parameter over here. So you could go ahead, and after this 5, you could specify a comma, and you could type in d type, which is nothing but the data type of that particular element in that particular array. So let's say you want this to be an integer. So you specify the data type or d type equals np.int, and that's actually going to make sure that all the array elements in your array are going to be of the type integer. So if you run this code now, as you could see, now you have all the integer values in here instead of having decimal values. Now similarly, you could also create an arrays of ones or zeros or any number like that by using these methods over here. So this was quite a simple and short lecture which actually showed you how you could go ahead and create a NumPy array by using the arrange method, and also how you could go ahead and specify the data type of those particular array elements. So that's it for this lecture, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.